Apologies for the shakiness of this video, but it's doing one-handed. So this is the Dell tablets that we're using, and I just want to go through the process of setting up the power settings on the tablet so that it will start up automatically if there's a power cut, B, it will keep going regardless of what happens to it, and C, actually reduces as much heat as we can. So the first thing we actually need is we need a keyboard with a USB port. Now I've got there's a 4-into-1, which is handy because then I can put a mouse and a keyboard in, because these only have the one USB port. Now you need to put this in before you turn it on. Let's put it the right way. There we go. So now we need to turn the machine on, and we're going to get ready to hit the F12 button on the keyboard when the Dell button appears. So you just push and hold that until you feel a little zzz, and then I get ready with my F12 key, and when the Dell thing appears on screen, there it is, I hit F12, and now you see up here it says, no, it doesn't actually, but now I'm entering the BIOS settings. Now this is the first part of what we need to do, because this is what we're doing at the moment is we're setting the tablet up so that whenever it gets power to it, it will automatically turn on. So if you imagine there's been a power cut for a week and the tablet's gone discharged and everything, the moment the power comes back on, the tablet will boot itself up. So we're going to go into the BIOS setup. So I just use the down arrows, and now use the enter button to select BIOS setup. And over here you'll see, again just using the down arrow to come down to power management, and again push enter, and then come down to AC behavior, and up here wake on AC. So you can just click that, you will use the mouse, whatever, so wake on AC, and then we just push apply in here and exit. And that's set the BIOS so that whenever the tablet now gets power, it will automatically start. So that's the first step. So the second step is all to do with power settings for the tablet itself. What we don't want it to do, we don't want the tablet to go to sleep, we don't want it to hibernate ever, or anything like that. So we're going to just let it start up, go through its startup sequence here, and yada yada yada. Here we go. So now that I've got my mouse and things connected, I just go to down here and down to settings. Okay, and the settings come up, and it's the system power. And here, so just click on that. All right, and studio playlist is starting to start. That's all right, we'll just cancel that. Okay, so coming down to the, where am I going? Sorry, over here, battery and sleep. Sorry, power and sleep. So on battery power, we want it to turn off, come down, and never. When plugged in, turn off, never. We want on battery power, the PC goes to sleep, never. When AC, it goes to sleep, never. So that means that it will never go to sleep, obviously. Now we go to additional power settings here. We'll find some more in here. Okay. And choose what the power buttons do. So over here, choose what the power buttons do. So we want, when I press the power button, do nothing. When it's plugged in, do nothing. When I press the sleep button, do nothing. When I close the lid, do nothing, and do nothing. So that means that if someone was to handle the tablet and accidentally press the power button while they're handling it, it won't go to sleep, it'll just keep playing and do all those things. So that's all good. So we'll save those changes down here, save changes. And there's one more place to do, and that is, I think it might still be in here actually. Is it in here? Let me just find that. Yes. So I'll go back and show you what I just clicked on to get there. So I was additional power settings, which brings up this, and then balanced, and then change plan settings over here, and then change advanced power settings. You just got to work your way in. Slideshow. So slideshow on batteries paused. That's good. Plugged in. It can be. Doesn't really matter as well. Sleep after. Never. We've done that. Hibernate after. Never. That's all good. Display. Turn off display. Battery. Now this is where we go. Critical battery action. On battery, we want you to shut down. And if you're plugged in and the battery gets critical, you shut down. If we left that at hibernate, what happens is when the computer turns back on again, it remains in hibernation. Whereas we want it to shut down so that it starts up and everything starts up automatically. You can turn off the critical battery notifications. That doesn't matter. But they are the main key components. So we hit apply and hit OK. X out of that. X out of that. Now there's one more thing in here. The other thing to do is actually the screen saver. Screen saver. Oops. Change screen saver. Now we actually want the screen saver to be blank, and I usually set it for about 4 minutes. Okay, because what that means is because we don't actually want, we've told the computer never to shut down, never to do anything, but we do want the screen to go off to conserve heat, so it's not generating a lot of heat from the thing. So that's all set, and then the last thing we will do once we've finished setting up the computer is turn the screen brightness right down to pretty much minimal. You can just search brightness, I think, and it will change the brightness level. It'll come up, and then you can just turn that right down. But obviously it's a bit hard to work on when it's right down, so we'll just leave it up for the moment. But last thing we do before we leave the computer and go away is set that brightness. So anyway, that's the power settings done on the computer. One more quick thing, just on sound. So let's go back into the settings for a moment. And we're going to go into the speaker sounds, notifications and actions. We've turned all those off already. All the notifications should be off. But in sound, if we go into sound control panel down here, and then we go into sounds up here, sound scheme, no sounds. That just means when we plug in the something into the USB port or something, it doesn't go bing bong, because it'll go bing bong across the radio station. So we want all the sounds off, so the only thing coming out of here is the audio from the radio. So that was just one more thing I forgot to mention.